Why? That's a question I get asked a lot.
I guess why not? I mean, why not challenge yourself? Why not challenge your body? My dad always told me when I was growing up, you know, there's going to be a point in time where you're not going to be able to do things and you're going to get old, so you might as well do it while you're young.
I've been dreaming of this race for 10 years. Every footstep has led to this race tomorrow, and no matter what happens, I know I've put everything into it and I'm ready to go.
I've done this actual Leadville run once already, so this was my first 100-miler that I did last year, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But it taught me something at the end that I realized I am stronger. I am able to do these tough, difficult things that God has put before me, and I'm able to bless others by doing these things.
Going into a race this big, this magnitude, I mean, it's my first 100-mile race. It's just the unknown, you know, the unknown, how far that you can push your body. So going into this race, it's going to be places I've never been before, mentally, emotionally, physically.
The morning started off with a lot of excitement. There was just the buzz of energy in the air that was really fun to be a part of. And I just made a point to take it mile by mile instead of focusing on, oh my goodness, we have 97 miles left at the 3-mile mark. You know, I just didn't let my mind go there, thankfully. And it really worked out to my advantage. I think focusing on just getting to aid station to aid station is a pretty good strategy for these longer races. It helps kind of break it up.
Mile 26, I was glad to see the crew because I needed a motivator. I needed some excitement. I needed some encouragement to get me through. And again, mile 26, it's a marathon for most people, but in 100 miles, it's just a quarter of the way. And so you still got a long ways to go.
It's cold, man. It's cold. See, my shirt's all wet.
My goal was 28 hours to finish. And so every aid station I had a cutoff that I needed to achieve. And I was already 30 minutes over that time at 26 miles. So I made up 20 minutes of that 30 minutes from Pipeline, which was mile 26, to Twin Lakes. Twin Lakes, I think that's the best part of the race of all. The town comes out for you, the emotions come out when you see everyone. You see not just your crew, but everyone in Leadville and Twin Lakes and surrounding areas come out for you, the runner, and it's exciting, it's emotional, it's motivating, encouraging. It pushed me to the next hardest part of the race.
Good, baby.
Nice work.
Good, baby.
Yo, nice work.
Strong, baby, strong.
Look at him talk to himself. Oh, God. You got this. Hell yeah, man.
The mountain was definitely humbling over the weekend. To do 100 miles for anybody it's an achievement, and that was an achievement that I was going for. Made it halfway, 50-mile mark. I just didn't have the speed, I guess, the time frame to meet the time cutoffs.
I had to turn the corner, and that guy says, "Hey, are you gonna call it, or are you gonna try to make it?" I said, "I'm making it. What do I need to do?" He goes, "You gotta sprint 3/4 of a mile in order to meet the cutoff." So I'm like, so I just took off and I started sprinting. I started sprinting literally all the way to, because it's downhill, literally to the mat, to the check-in mat, and from here to about, oh my gosh, it was maybe 20 yards, something like that. I mean, she said, no, can't go. And yeah, and then I just lost it. I just started crying after that.
This weekend just kind of made me realize that, you know, you put everything on the line, and it may not be the outcome that you want, but it's the outcome that you may have to have in order to humble you, in order to make you hungry, and make you just want to try again harder. So, you know, even though I didn't finish, I didn't accomplish what I came out here to do, you know, it's going to make me that much hungrier and want it more for next year.
This is when the hard part began, and I got my first pacer, Christy Atkins, and she did a phenomenal job on that, on getting me to keep pushing myself, making sure that I was drinking and eating, and ensuring I had all the proper nutrition from salt. She really encouraged me to push me, you know, beyond my limits, because she knows me. She knows my pain thresholds, and she knows she can push me, so she did, and rightfully so. She did a fantastic job of doing so, and we made up a lot of time. She finished her section about 14 miles, pacing me, and then Landy Atkins took over. So he had the next hardest part, which was taking me up Powerline Pass. It's 4 miles of just straight uphill, and last year was really brutal when I did this, and I thought in my head it was just going to be as hard, but I don't know if it was the company and the pacer. He said, we're gonna just do this 20-minute miles, and you're just going to stick with me, and we're going to go, and we did, and it actually felt great. Last part was just power hike and a little bit of run. Once we saw Leadville, the emotion started to kick in. I could see and hear the town screaming for you, ready to embrace you into that finish, and embrace you into that Leadville family.
My only goal was to finish with a smile on my face, and that's what I accomplished. So that was it, and I was able to do it, thank God.
This is the aftermath. My face is swollen, my legs are swollen, my body is in pain, but honestly, it was all well worth it. I loved the fact that I could be out there and push myself to my body's limits, and that's kind of what we do these things for, is we push ourselves to see what we're capable of, and God shows us that we're capable of a lot more than we think of, that we know of. And so that's one of the main reasons I do a lot of these things that I do, but it's also just building relationships with others, and I wouldn't take all of this, you know, swollenness and this pain that I've got. I don't mind it. It was well worth it.
Half of the battle is just showing up. The other half is, you know, your training leading up to it, and just 90% of that is just going through it. We all know this is a mental strength sport, and so your encouragement is that you can achieve this. I mean, you can achieve anything. I tried it, but it does not mean that I'm gonna, because I did not complete it, that I'm gonna stop. You know, if anything, it makes you hungrier. And that's what I would say for encouragement for you guys. Even though you may not achieve your goal initially, or even if you do, there's always gonna be something you can improve on, something that you can do, and something that, you know, you don't know if you're gonna accomplish it until you complete it, until you try it. So I would say just, you go for it. If it's something that you really wanna do, go for it. And if it's not the outcome that you want, then learn from that. Learn from that outcome and just try to come back better.
Honestly, it all begins with taking a single step and then seeing how far you can go after that. It sounds kind of cliche, but it's really the truth. You'll never know your limits until you test them. And sometimes you aren't gonna make them. I've DNF'd races before, and so there've been several races that I've not run very well, and but you just keep trying and keep putting yourself out there and keep working hard to those goals, and it's amazing what our bodies are able to accomplish. Honestly, I believe because of the grace God's extended to us. I think it's really, I mean, I was only able to finish the race by His grace this weekend.
I would hope that someone would see this and realize that there's nothing that's impossible, provided you have God with you to do those things that you think are absolutely difficult. Then you know you can conquer anything that you put your mind to and any goal that you wish to accomplish. So go out and do those hard things and know that you can do those with God.